basically it's saying like, if you have 100 cluster environment, you provision a data store that can handle that level of traffic, but then your Kubernetes scales down, data doesn't scale with it. That's provisioning into the Kubernetes environment. And my sense is that that's where a lot of technologies are playing today. The challenge is, what is the data environment that scales out with Kubernetes, scales in with Kubernetes, rides along with Kubernetes? That hasn't really been done well, and it's incredibly difficult to do. And so I'm wondering, I think with Cassandra.
In fairness, that was not my quote. That was my colleague Sam Ramji. I just noticed that this is Sam's quote, but he and I talk all the time about this, so I'm more than happy to defend his quote.
All right, there we go. All right, yeah, Sam, if you want to come on here and get grilled too, you're more than welcome. But yeah, so can you explain what's happening there in a bit more depth and why it's so cool?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's so the scale out and scale in, it sounds cool, but scale out is easy actually. We figured out that problem pretty well, but scaling in and the elastic, we were having this argument the other day. I was like, what's the difference between scale and elastic? This is the same thing, right? No, they're not. I can make a lot of things scale, but it's really difficult to make things elastic. Meaning I can add more CPU, I can add more disk to a system and make it go up. But removing those systems is really difficult. And so, when we talk about connections with Kubernetes, yeah, we wanted to stick with, I'm actually adding to the quote that Sam put in there, but like we want something to work as a team. So if I have two separate infrastructure setups, if I have my Cassandra cluster sitting over here and I have my Kubernetes cluster sitting over here, I've just created this duality that now I have to either have two sets of people operating them, like, people, or I have to have double the knowledge, where I just want to have one common set of knowledge. I want to go into kubectl, say, scale and go up. But we also wanted to look at the down too, because that's one of the things Kubernetes does really well, is the elastic. It's like, I don't need 50 web servers anymore. I need 10. And it just is, got it. What about data? Really difficult to do.